Ready? 1, 2, 3.
All right, welcome back, everybody, to our second episode of Ultracrepidarians. We made it. Woo!
We did it. 2 episodes.
2 episodes. It's our big milestone for us. Big milestone for us. So it's been about 2 weeks since we were last in the studio, and it's been a wild 2 weeks. It has felt like an entire month.
There's so much that's been happening.
I feel like we had a whole season happen in 2 weeks.
Right. I mean, we kind of started a season with fall, but it feels like fall's been around for way longer than it already has.
I meant like show season.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's
You meant
season.
like, you took it literally. You were like, it's fall now.
I don't know.
Pumpkin spice.
There's so many words that have different, like multiple meanings.
Crunchy leaves. Crispy air. Although I guess pumpkin spice is out of fashion now because it's November, which means it's officially Christmas time.
You just offended so many people.
Okay, hold on. If this coffee companies are releasing Christmas coffee and I say it's Christmas time and I offend people, we're going to have a larger issue at hand. Anyways.
Are the fall drinks out? Or like can people still get pumpkin spice lattes?
I don't know, but I know...
Because I feel like, to me, pumpkins have become not just a Halloween thing. Like, Halloween and Thanksgiving. Just that we have, like, pumpkin stuff around longer.
Yeah. For Thanksgiving, we have a lot of pumpkin-themed, like, desserts.
Yeah, like pumpkin pie.
No, my mom...
Oh.
That's basic. My mom makes this, like, pumpkin... cheesecake, like a pumpkin pie cheesecake, where it's like cheesecake and it's like pumpkin and like it's super. I'll save a slice for you after Thanksgiving.
Pumpkin cheesecake.
Pumpkin cheesecake, dude. I know it sounds gross, but it's magical.
I don't know. I'm intrigued.
I'll save you a slice. I'll bring one all the way from California.
All the way from California.
What?
It'll make it.
Yeah, it'll make it. It'll make it.
It'll make it.
All right. I have a couple of topics that Connor and I have gathered over the past 2 weeks. So last week when we were editing the podcast, Connor and I were in our editing lab until 5:30 in the morning.
Mm-hmm.
And
This is what happens when you put things off.
Yeah, a little bit. But also, I made Connor, first of all, when we got to the lab, we were like, we're going to watch a movie tonight because we're the only two in the lab.
Yeah.
So the first movie we put on was Incredibles.
Because you had to start with a classic.
And then what was the second movie, Connor?
Cars 2.
The acclaimed animated hit 2012 Pixar movie Cars 2.
Still, I'm always just, anytime it's brought up, there's a part of my brain that just goes, the second one?
It's so good. I can respect why people love the first one. I get it. It's a good movie.
Yeah, nostalgia as well.
Yeah, childhood.
Yeah.
Joy. However, the second one, Connor, they were animating car fights. They were like drifting and shooting at the same time.
You do realize that drifting was in the first one, right? That's whole thing of like turn right hard enough, you go left.
I know it's in the first movie, but you're missing the part where they have a whole choreographed car fight. I feel like you underappreciate the value of that. You know what I just
realized? Huh? There's no guns in the first one. Like, there's guns in the second one. There's no guns in the first one, but there's mention of guns with, like, the cop car, like, popping and stuff. Lightning McQueen just goes, "What? He's shooting at me." I'm like, how do cars carry guns? Like, what do they?
They keep it in their tire.
Right. That's where the spies keep them, like, hidden and stuff.
Oh.
But, like, do cop cars just have, like, a gun holster on the side of them?
Do they have a car attachment? It's like the extension of, like, the side mirrors. You know what I'm talking about?
Oh, yeah.
They, like, clip it on every morning.
That's horrifying.
But isn't the side mirrors their ears?
You would think, but then that's how Mater uses them to drive backwards. So, like, is he looking at his ears when driving backwards to know where he's going?
Are you looking at your ears when you walk backwards?
Every day.
You like your eyeballs shoot out and they turn around.
Exactly. Like a chameleon. They both just go 2 different ways to look at each ear.
That's so dumb. This is so dumb. You know what we got in an actually like kind of heated debate about was the Cars cinematic universe, and it was stuff like this when we were talking about the flies.
Yeah, you're right. We were talking about the flies.
Yeah.
Being like
cars. They should have been airplanes.
Yeah, like they're cars. Yeah, they should have been planes because
they're flying.
We see planes in the Cars movie too, being like sentient. It's not just in the failed spin-off Planes.
I was about to bring that up. I think they made like 2 or 3 of those movies, and they were all bad.
I think they made 2 because I remember the second one being like fire and rescue, and he was like, I'm done with racing, even though the whole first movie I wanted to race. I want to be a firefighter now.
He's just like every college kid for real.
Yes.
Yeah.
He's picking his major.
Yeah. Hey, what was your original major?
I was going to be a biology major, like a science major. And then I would have slowly worked up to getting a PhD. And then the arts stole me. So
the arts?
Yep, the arts.
Plural? Like you do more than... that sounds so condescending.
No, I only do film.
Yeah.
Okay, not like you, where I'm like theater and film.
Yeah.
But like, the arts, or like as a general grouping.
Yeah. No, that's fair. I think it's so funny because you were talking about how you were going to be a bio major. I just looked at the screen and it's all... I think it's funny because you were talking about how you were going to be a bio major. I don't know if we talked about this. I was supposed to be a chemistry major.
A chem major?
Yeah. I was going to be a pharmacist.
Right. Yeah, you were going to be a pharmacist because I still can't imagine you in a white coat. But I didn't know if pharmacists started with a chemistry major.
Yeah, you have to start with a chemistry major and then you get your... I think it's not a PhD, it's an MD of some kind, and then I had to go get a pharmacy degree. But you start with a chem major, or like any like chemical, like you want to understand what the chemicals you're working with are doing. Right. So ideally you get a chem major.
I would have thought it would be like on the medical.
On the medical, technically it is. So like you could go. I'm also not fully educated on this, but
well, obviously not anymore.
Well, not anymore. I have to tell you the story of how I became a theater major and then a film major because that came second. But I had to start with a chemistry major because I needed a base in chemistry, and then I needed to go get a pharmacy degree. So it was like a different, you know how like people have like pre-med and then med?
Yeah.
So it was like chem and then you go get your pharmacy degree. And I had like a whole plan. And then I was like, and then COVID hit. And I realized I'm not actually good at chemistry. I just lied to myself.
You were like, oh, I'm going to be a pharmacist. I could find out what COVID does. And you start looking and you're like, I don't want to know anymore.
No, actually, I'm kidding. I take it back. But yeah, a similar thing happened to me where I was actually a business major. And then I did a show for moral support for my friend. I auditioned and then I got a role. And then one day...
So after deciding not to do pharmaceutical work and being like, I'm not going to be a chem major. I'm going to be something way better. I'm going to be a business major.
I was just like, I can go into marketing. It's so easy. You make a lot of money.
Boring.
I didn't know what I was saying or doing at that point in my life. And then I auditioned for a show for my friend for moral support. I ended up getting a role, and which is how our friend Carlos Plummer first came to know me. Was
really?
Because of that show. He came and watched it, and that's how... Well, we didn't really meet until set, but that's how he saw me. But I didn't see him because it was dark because he was in the audience. But
I didn't see him. He saw me.
Yeah, I didn't.
I
didn't see him.
No one ever does.
Saw me. It's like the Dark Knight monologue.
Oh gosh.
But yeah, so then one night after rehearsal, my director, who I still work with a bunch, who I love to death, pulled me outside and he was like, "What's your degree?" And I was like, business."
Not theater?
Not arts. And he was like, "Do this. You need to do this." And I said, "Okay." The next day I changed my major.
You did it the next day?
The next day.
Man, I always hear people changing their major and it sounds a lot more work than just the next day.
No, I texted my dad in the morning and I was like, "Do you think this is a smart idea?" And he's like, "No." And then I did it anyways and I just didn't tell him. And then he came up and saw the show and he was like, "Never mind, it's okay."
That's a great idea.
It's a great idea.
I've never changed majors being in college. But it was when I was in high school, when I was like full gung-ho about being a science major. I was like, I'm going to get my bachelor's in biology, then I'm going to work up a master's in entomology, and then I was going to work personally on my PhD in mermatology. I was like, I have a full plan. I have it mapped out. I know what I'm gonna do. And then I went into high school, and one of my friends was just like, yeah, we touch cameras in this class. And it was downhill from there. I was like, cameras?
Camera. Go click.
Oh, me touch camera.
Go speed.
Oh.
Ever since your hit role in Omnivision, I've been
Oh.
enraptured by you.
Yeah, I should start saying that was the moment I decided to be a filmmaker.
Was Omnivision?
Yeah.
It was actually my performance.
I don't know, something about just being a creepy dude. I mean, just made me love film.
Putting leaves into water bottles. Peak cinema.
Yeah, this scene where my character was supposed to drug the main actress's water bottle. I go to the director and I'm like, so, like, do you want me to kind of mime it out? Because the camera's far. It was a wide angle. And I was like, the camera's far away. Do you want me to mime it out and just act like I'm pulling stuff out of my pocket and shoving it in? And he just goes, no, because on the off chance someone sees it, we want to see you actually shoving something in. I'm like, okay, well, do you have anything? And he goes, no, you can just pick up those leaves over there and shove them in. And so we had like 5 takes of me doing it. And I return her water bottle to her. And I'm like, I'm so sorry. You're going to want to dump that out before you drink anything. She opens it up and there's just like a layer of leaves in between, like just looking down in it and the water. Like so you couldn't see anything in the water. It just looked like a water bottle full of leaves. She was like, oh, thanks for warning me. I would have taken a sip.
Poor Sienna. She takes a sip and she's just drowned by leaves.
Oh, that'd be horrible.
Wouldn't it?
Get all the stuff on the leaves, like all the dirt and the...
Ugh. What if you got a worm in there too?
Protein.
Do you remember that weird like early 2000s movie about the boy who like ate worms?
Oh, How to Eat Fried Worms.
Yes.
Yes. Oh gosh, I think it's either How to Eat Fried Worms or 99 Ways to Eat Fried Worms.
I don't know.
I had that movie on DVD. I loved it. It was really weird because as a kid, I didn't realize what I was doing, but I was making myself like annually watch it. Like at the beginning of every summer, I'd be like, well, I know what movie I'm seeing. I don't know why, because like if you told me as a kid to eat worms, I would have thrown up. I would be like, no way. But watching that movie, man, I was like, I could go for a good worm.
That movie made me physically ill. I could only watch it a couple of times as a kid because it made me sick. And you want to know what scene is forever burned into my brain because of how gross it was?
Which one?
The one where he blows it up in the microwave.
Oh, yeah.
I can't do it.
I forgot about that one. I always remember the like last worm he eats because he has to eat 100 in the movie. Yeah. I remember the last worm he eats because everyone looks so defeated and he finally gets to eat it. It just changes from like eating. It's like, oh, it's so gross. He eats it and he's just like jumping around cheering like Rocky. I'm like, yeah, okay, 100 worms before it tastes good.
Sounds like before it tastes good, it tasted good at the end.
From the way he reacted.
Gosh, to be an actor like that.
You don't think they actually ate worms, do you?
No, but I think
There's
they definitely
way.
gave him like gummy based or like cake based, chocolate based, like
cake based worms. That's like the thing where it's like, is it real or is it cake?
Yeah. Could you imagine making a cake that tiny?
Oh, it would be, I don't know. That'd be crumbs basically left from a normal cake.
Crumbs.
It'd be crumbs left from an apple cake. A cake worm coming out of a cake apple. You know?
Oh, I get it now. You were saying that the apple was a cake. I was like, an apple cake? I've never heard of that. I was like...
Yeah, you know, like apple pie, apple cake. Same thing. No. Pumpkin cake.
My hot take is I don't actually like apple pie.
There's a carrot cake, but there's no carrot pie.
Wait a minute.
Yeah.
Wait a minute.
We've shifted, like we've separated groups on like foods that can be pies but not cakes, and foods that can be cake but not pie.
But foods that can be both. Because you can have a strawberry shortcake, but you also can have strawberry pie.
You're right.
I know.
Oh, man.
But strawberry's like the golden fruit.
Yeah.
You can do anything with a strawberry. I love a good strawberry.
Because I mean, like, when was the last time someone was talking about fruit and strawberries weren't mentioned?
Literally never.
Yeah. Because, you know, you're talking about fruit. No one's just going to spontaneously mention dragon fruit. But, like,
I might.
I
love dragon fruit.
Okay, well, besides you.
My chapstick is dragon fruit
No
flavored.
Oh, is it really?
Yeah.
That's kind of crazy. But like, if you're talking about fruit and 5 people come into the conversation at different times, they're all going to mention strawberries as soon as they hear you're talking about fruit.
It's always strawberries or bananas or like the new one I've seen is mandarin oranges, and I think
mandarin oranges. That's very specific
right?
instead of just oranges.
Yeah, well, mandarin oranges are different than regular oranges because they're tinier and sweeter.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, they're like the little cuties.
I feel like oranges and apples, they're like too much of a staple to not be said.
Yeah, I agree.
Because, like strawberries and bananas, that's kind of like, oh, that's a common thing people bring up with fruits. But like if you say apple and oranges, that's like fruit's logo,
Yeah.
Same with grapes.
Yeah.
Because like you say fruit.
Yeah.
Like 3 of the most certain ones you're going to think of are apples, oranges, and grapes.
Wait, yeah.
Yeah.
It's like, I like to talk about stuff like that because it's like, I never realized how we're all the same person until we're in the room together and we're like,
yeah, we're all just basic.
We all have the same experiences.
Oh, yeah. Because you think you've had like such a unique experience and you tell it in a group setting, and then someone just goes, oh, I remember when like I used to do that as a kid, or like, oh, I remember seeing that. And you were like, you weren't supposed to agree with me. I'm supposed to have like a unique once in a lifetime story.
What do you mean my experiences aren't individualized? What do you mean there's 7 billion on the people? Wow. 7 billion people on the planet.
There's 8 billion now.
What?
Yeah.
Actually?
Yeah. We just passed over 8 billion.
I wonder what it would have been like to be the 8 billionth. How do you say that?
8 billionth?
Yeah, baby.
Oh, imagine they did it like
they awarded you a medal.
Like the 1 millionth customer, but like you're the 8 billionth person on the world right now.
That means you get to solve all the world's problems.
I mean, that means you get 1 free use gift card to this place.
1 free use gift card to Olive Garden.
I was going to say the hospital.
The hospital? Actually, that's smart because medical bills.
Yeah.
You know what we should do? We should dress up and go to Olive Garden.
Dress up and go to Olive Garden?
Yes. It's a special occasion. And when you're there, you're family.
Well, okay, paid ad. Not really, though. I feel like Olive Garden, you can get away with dressing fancy.
Yeah.
Because that's like you want a fancy date, but you don't want to like overdo it. Mm-hmm. Everyone just says, go to Olive Garden.
Yeah.
Because it passes for casual, but also you can make it fancy.
Yeah. Isn't it so special?
Oh, so special.
So I love special.
Olive Garden. When was the last time you actually went to Olive Garden, though?
Like went or had?
Went into the place and ate.
I think like before the pandemic.
See, and you're like, oh, it's so fancy, it's so nice. You could go.
Wait, I'm a liar.
Family.
I went once when I moved out here my freshman year. There's a post on my Instagram that says I went to Olive Garden right after this, and that was actually the last time I was inside of an Olive Garden.
Yeah, I think it's been over a year for me since I've been in an Olive Garden. I mean, because I've like catered to Olive Garden.
Yeah.
Like this last summer.
To what?
To my house, just like
that's not catering. That's ordering.
Olive Garden is too fancy. There's no ordering. It's just catering.
Oh, my mom and I have this weird tradition where whenever she comes out and it's just me and her, we'll go and do a mobile order pickup at Olive Garden for soup and salad, and then we'll go back to our hotel room.
You won't go into Olive Garden?
No.
You'll just like, okay, time to pick it up and then go back.
Go back to our hotel room, eat in peace and silence, call our dad, or my dad, not her dad, her husband.
Call our dads, both of them.
Both of them. Call my dad, chat with him, brag about our salad and our soup, and then we'll go to bed.
At this point, he's probably like expecting the call for whenever you guys are hanging out. He just is sitting there and he answers the phone. He goes, "Let me guess where you went."
I think he does know now. He's a little silly goose, but he gets a little sad when my mom leaves the house. He's very attached to my mother. It's very adorable.
Couple goals.
Couple girls.
Couple girls.
Couple girls. People look at me and Connor and go, couple girls.
They're a couple girls.
They're a couple girls. Speaking of girls, you don't know what a girl's girl is.
Yeah, I don't. I I know you tried to explain this to me the other day, and I threw out multiple times where I was like, okay, I think I got it. And then you're like, no,
You don't
that's
get
not it. I was like, dang it.
So a girl's girl is a girl that will always have a girl's back. So like if like let's say you were at a club, right, with your other girlfriend, and let's say that a man was trying to flirt with her and she wasn't into it.
Right.
You would do a couple of things, but you basically just get the man to leave you alone. So whether that's leaving the situation, pretending that you two are romantically involved, or like whatever, that's like my favorite thing to do is pretend that my friends are my girlfriend whenever men are making them uncomfortable. I'm just like, yeah, we're gay.
They would leave pretty quick.
They would run. They'd flee. They have fled. But yeah, or like another situation where we're a girl's girl is like if a girl, like her makeup was smeared and like you had like some products to help her out with. You'd be like, oh, hey, I have this, like go take this and like fix your makeup. So it's basically just like being a good girl, like a good girlfriend. But like it wasn't the norm for girls for a while. Girls were mean for a second.
So like, is it specifically for one person? Like you're their girl's girl?
No, like you can be a girl's girl for every girl.
Okay.
You should be a girl's girl
so it's
for every
just
girl.
being nice.
It's just being nice to girls, Connor. That's all it is.
Okay, that's...
You're a girl's girl.
I'll take it. Now that I know it's being nice to people, I'll take it.
You are very nice.
Yeah.
Sometimes you're too nice.
Because I got kind of, I guess, thrown off because in my head I was like, oh yeah, like you're one person's, like you're one girl's girl.
Yeah, you're my girl's girl.
And but like it's only limited to one person. Like you can't, it would be like if one person finds out and it's like, you're her girl? I thought you were my girl.
Oh, like a committed relationship?
Yeah. Because it's like, like old like 2000s teen movies where they'd be like, you have another best friend. I thought we were best friends.
Connor, you have another best friend. It's not me.
Oh no. We can't talk anymore. Till the end of the movie when they make up.
Yeah, and it's like, friendship is magic.
Yeah, and then they all get in a friend group and it's like, well, you could have had this the whole time.
If only you were normal.
If only.
My favorite thing to do is bring my favorite people into a room together and then see how they interact.
See if they mix.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, if they do, then your two small worlds become one big one.
Isn't it so magical?
So.
That happened to me last weekend. I put all of my favorite people in a room. Mm-hmm. And some of them mixed and some of them didn't. And that's okay.
That's okay.
That's okay.
Because the ones that mix made.
Are you talking about yourself?
Relationships. No, I don't really know. I would like to say I am a slow extrovert, where it's like I'm an extrovert and I'll talk to people, but like if I'm thrown into a situation where I'm forced to talk to someone I don't know, and I'm gonna be like, hey, what's up? I'm Connor. Nice to meet you. And I'm like, it gets me forever to go back to like calm and just talking with someone, and then I'll be an extrovert.
It's weird to think of you like that. I saw it for a moment on Saturday, but it's weird for me to think of you as anything other than how you interact with me. Or even like when we think back to like when I had audio with you when we weren't friends on audio.
Yeah.
That's even weird for me to think about because it's like I tell you
where it was like we knew of each other but we didn't know each other yet.
Yeah. That's the weirdest thing for me to think about.
Right. I always think about when like the people I know now of like, because being from Florida, I often think about like, oh, the people I know now here, where were they at when I was living in Florida? I was like, I had no idea at the time that I would get to know them later. Like, didn't even know they existed.
That's part of my crisis of becoming sentient. I'm like, everybody has had their own narrative and they've had experience. You've had experiences before you and I were friends.
Yeah.
And you're going to have experiences that I'm not going to know about until you share them with me.
Until I share them with you, yeah.
Yeah, which you'll get there. We'll be in another In-N-Out drive-through.
It's always in the car where conversations happen.
Us or like just in general?
I feel like just in general.
Yeah.
I feel like a lot of people can relate to being like, oh, hey, yeah, like we're in a car, we're driving, it's just two people. I'm going to share my entire life story.
Let me tell you about the worst thing that ever happened to me real quick. So it all started junior year of high school.
It always starts in high school.
I don't know.
Like, I hear some bad stories of middle school, but most stories from middle school start with being like, yeah, so back when I was a kid and stupid, I didn't know anything.
That's true, yeah. Yeah, I don't really have a lot of like horror stories from middle school. I have like maybe one or two.
I mean, yeah, because there's going to be bad stories your entire life.
Yeah.
But in high school, you're kind of
in the trenches,
trained to only see the bad experiences.
Yeah. Actually, I was very blinded to the bad experiences for a while. I was like I had my little tunnel vision on.
Your little horse blinders.
My horse blinders. Yep. Everything was good for me, solid. And then sophomore year, like the middle to end of sophomore year hit, and I was like, oh, maybe things aren't as they seem. And then I started breaking it all down. And junior year was really when I don't know anybody who had a good junior year.
Well, yeah, but I feel like, there's bad experiences from high school, and then there's bad experiences from COVID.
Oh, yes. Well, I mean, like, I don't even, dude, past COVID, not even high school for me. That was limbo.
That was just, we got to get out of here.
That was a year and a half of, it was loading
just
screen for me. That's what it was. I didn't learn anything. I didn't grow as a human. I only made, like, weird internet friends. Shout out to you, Nicholas.
Weird internet friends. Well, when you can't make friends in real life, go to the internet.
Maybe we
don't follow that advice at all. That is very dangerous.
I was about to say, Connor, wait, where are you sending these people?
Make friends with us on the internet. That's fine. But there's also a lot of weird people on the internet, so maybe don't just make friends.
Make friends with everybody.
Yeah. It's always nice to go outside and see someone random and be like, hey, you, I want to be your friend. I was actually just talking with two people about this the other day, and we kind of boiled it down to extroverted mindset and introverted mindset, where, like, for me and for one of the other people I was talking to, we just said, we're like, yeah, it's real easy to make friends because, newsflash, if you didn't know this, everyone else sitting alone also would like to talk to someone. So just go over and be like, hey, is that seat taken? And then you're talking and you made a new friend.
Kind of like how I think that's how I started this friendship, was I was like, Connor, teach me how to tie a freaking knot.
Yeah.
I think that was it.
Yeah.
And
because I mean,
been glorious ever since.
You don't know how to tie a knot? You see someone who knows how to tie a knot? Be like, hey, let's talk.
Let me figure out how to tie a knot, and then let me steal your phone, and then put my... That was wild of me.
The weirdest part for that to me is you stole my phone and then took a picture of me to send to you. Not even like you took a picture of yourself and sent it to me. It was like... on my phone from my way of texting you, but you were the one who took the photo and just sent it. I was like, okay. I
don't even remember my logic for that. I just like having funny pictures of people. I could not tell you. I like having funny photos, Connor, if you can't tell by my extensive camera roll of you.
Oh, I can tell.
Speaking of camera roll, I made a thirst trap of you last night.
Oh, no.
And you got so mad.
I watched it, and it's okay. Thirst traps in general.
The second video
I don't need a thirst trap. But the thirst trap you made was even worse because you don't have, like, genuine videos of me. You have me, like, making weird faces, like, wearing weird things. Like, one of them was just me in a mask. That's not a thirst trap because you can't see me. Well,
the joke was supposed to be that you were like it's supposed to be funny at first, and then that clip of you getting into the car was supposed to be like the one like hot clip, and then the video of you dancing after was supposed to be the joke.
Didn't work.
Because I was worried that I was scared that if I made that, you were gonna be like, the dating rumors are true. She's in love with me.
Oh my gosh. No, I I see thirst traps online all the time, and I'm like, who is this for other than yourself?
Other than literally every time I even think about making a thirst trap, I'm like, ugh, why am I gonna do that? I know
it would just be for yourself, and you'd post it online. You wouldn't post it online for other people to see. You would post it online so that later in the future you go back and you're like, I made this.
I'm so hot in this.
You know what else you could do that with? Just saving it on your phone and not posting it.
I also do the thing. Also, listen, I have my good days where like I look good. This is not one of them. I have my days where I look good, and when I do, I take a photo, and then I end up posting that photo like onto Snapchat or something. Right. But it's never like I think I did the obnoxious thing last week where I took a photo of myself, but that was because my hair was so good.
Obnoxious thing? I mean, I don't know. I feel like if people see themselves and they're like they have enough self-confidence to take a photo of themselves, post it. Be like, hey, I don't think I look ugly today. Let's celebrate that.
Let's post a Noah Khan music to cover all my clutter on my kitchen counter. That's really what that song was to cover all the clutter over there.
That's so funny. I think it's very creative how people have now found ways to hide like messes in photos and stuff. Right. Because like there's stuff on like Photoshop where like spot healing tool and such, but like no one's just gonna post a picture on Instagram, but first let me edit it in Photoshop. But like some people hold up like hand signs, like peace sign or something, their thumbs up to like cover a mess behind their hand. Some people, there was one person who took a picture of themselves, thumbs up, smiling, and then behind them is a huge mess on the ground. And so instead of like just like cleaning up the mess, they just drew all around them a completely new background.
Why would you do that?
Like they started drawing like themselves on the red carpet, and then they erased it, and then they started drawing themselves.
Do you know this person?
On like a vacation? No, I just saw it online.
On like TikTok or something?
Yeah. I was like, that is
wild.
A lot of work.
That's a lot of, like, was it realistic or was it like obviously drawn?
It was obviously drawn. You can't make a drawing on Snapchat look realistic.
Don't say that. I know people who can.
I would love to see that then.
I'm friends with some really good artists.
Yeah, but realistic, especially when you're still in it.
Oh, yeah, that's fair.
Yeah.
That would be hard.
If you're like just drawing from a blank canvas, then yeah, I'm sure you can.
Yeah. I wonder if it's kind of like Roger Rabbit, where it's like you have all like the cartoons and then the humans.
I would love to see someone just like add Roger Rabbit to a Snapchat. That'd be so funny. That would be
so good. All right, Connor, new bucket list. We have to draw Roger Rabbit on a Snapchat.
New bucket list. We have to become Snapchat artists. We have to.
New bucket list. We have to become Roger Rabbit.
New bucket list. We have to star in a remake of Who Stole Roger Rabbit.
And you're Roger Rabbit.
I'm Roger Rabbit.
But you're also the main guy.
Then, yeah. Because then whenever I'm the main guy, you're Roger Rabbit.
I'm Roger Rabbit. But whenever you're Roger Rabbit, I'm the car with the little eyes.
I forgot about that car.
I don't.
Yeah.
That car is what you ride in the Disneyland ride.
It is.
Yeah. But did they close Roger Rabbit at Disneyland?
No idea. I haven't been to Disneyland in a few years.
I'm going to look into this while you keep talking to me because I'm curious.
Roger Rabbit is kind of like, was it one of the first movies you would say with cartoons and live action?
Yes, I think so. That and Space Jam. I don't know which came first.
Dude, Space Jam. True. Yeah, I don't know which one came first. But
oh, it's still there.
The ride is still there.
Yeah.
I remember, like, I think another one of the early ones is The Mask, because that's not necessarily cartoon, but it's like Jim Carrey puts on the mask and basically becomes a cartoon.
Yeah.
Like he starts moving and acting like one, to where it's kind of like it's close to being like a cartoon plus a real life person in the same movie. But
I feel like Jim Carrey himself is very cartoon-like.
Yeah, Jim Carrey's an exception. He was born a cartoon. You can't change
You know who
that.
else is born a cartoon?
Don't go there.
You're kind of born to be a cartoon.
Yeah, I've gotten that before.
I know. You know what else you were born to be? Baby Driver. That was a really good costume for you. I fully believed it.
I mean, yeah, I love the movie Baby Driver. It's just, I want to confidently say I have the whole movie memorized. Like, there's just not a part in that movie where you can mention where I won't know exactly where it is and what's happening and who's in it and what they're saying and what music is playing behind it. Originally, I had the idea for this Halloween that just passed to be the Dreaded Pirate Roberts from Princess Bride. Like, just like all black outfit with the black mask. It's like basically Princess Bride Zorro. But then after watching the movie one time with some of my friends, one of them just said, you know, Connor, you kind of look like Baby Driver. And like, it was in that moment where I just forgot all about the previous costume. I was like, you know what comes in a month? Halloween.
You like start ascending like SpongeBob.
I like instantly started researching outfits, like what he wore in the opening. Like I got the shoes with the right laces for it because I just love the movie. Even if I didn't look exactly like him, I was like, I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it.
You looked very, very much like him. It was like a little off-putting.
We have a little different hairstyle where I think mine is shorter than his because he has more like rounded hair and stuff. Putting on the outfit for the first time, it felt good. I just saw myself in the mirror and I was like, I peaked. This is it. This is the best Halloween costume I'll ever have.
I am a god. You become like a Greek god.
I am baby.
Jack.
I am baby, god of cars.
I am baby god of driver.
God of driver. Oh, man.
Oh, dude.
Because you were...
Adam?
What?
Because Adam, do you get it? Because like Adam,
yeah, Adam Driver.
What were you going to say?
You were a Bratz... What specific Bratz doll were you for Halloween?
So, okay,
Was it like a specific doll or specific like genre of dolls? Because I don't really, honestly, I don't know much about Bratz dolls. Because growing up, I did have sisters, but they had like Cabbage Patch Kids, American Girl doll. They didn't have like Bratz dolls.
Yeah. It's funny you mentioned that. My mom was adamantly against me having Bratz dolls.
Really?
She would tell me, she would be like, I hate Bratz. What do you want to be when you grow up? A hoochie mama? Look at me now, Heather. Look at me now. Shout out to my mom. She'll probably listen to this. I love you, Mom. You did great. You did a wonderful job.
Well, I mean, in her defense, when you're a parent and you see a toy marketed as Bratz, it's like, do you really want that?
And they're also wearing like cropped shirts and low-rise jeans.
Were they?
Yeah.
Were Bratz like teenagers?
Yeah.
Or were they? Oh.
They were teenagers. They were like teenage fashion icons.
Right.
Like that was their whole thing.
Because I knew, like, obviously Barbie is like an adult woman.
Yeah.
Just like as a doll.
Yeah.
But like, you know, American Girl dolls and Cabbage Patch Kids, like they were like kids as dolls. Yeah. But like Bratz were teenagers.
Bratz were teenagers.
Huh.
So all my like niche like dolls, like Monster High, Bratz, whatever other one I played with, I think like Polly Pocket, I can't remember.
Oh,
they
Polly
were all
Pocket.
like teenage girls. I was obsessed with being a teenage girl. I don't know why, but I was like, I need to be a teenager right now. And like I would like always, whenever I'd make like a fake character or something, I'd make her 16, and I'd make her name like, yeah. I was obsessed with being a teenager, and then I became a teenager, and I was
That's so funny.
This sucks, actually.
Yeah. What do you think when you were a kid? What do you think you would have done as a teenager? Like if you were to be as a kid, if you were to wake up the next day as a teenager, what do you think you would have done?
I had it in my mind that I was gonna be like a fashion star. I was going to be like the it girl. I was going to be the Elle Woods in my high school.
The Elle Woods.
And I really was just...
Elle Woods is in college, though.
I don't want to talk about it. I was just a theater kid. Can you imagine
a prequel to Legally Blonde where she's in high school?
I would love that. Call up Reese Witherspoon right now.
That'd be crazy.
But yeah, and then in reality, I was just like a little theater kid who liked playing pretend. And then when I actually got to high school, I was just a theater kid who only ever wore ripped skinny jeans and band t-shirts. So I was a real fashion icon.
You were close. You're close.
No, it wasn't. It was so bad. If I show you
You tried.
My style now has nothing on 16-year-old me. Okay? They can't even be compared. They're bad. But yeah, I was obsessed with like teenage dolls and like teenagers. I wanted to be one so bad. I like had envy of my sister because she's 9 years older than me. And so when she was a teenager and like she'd be on the phone with her boyfriend, I was like, when is it my turn?
Yeah, you were like, oh, man.
And then high school happened and it was not good. But
yeah, I have older siblings, and there's like 9 years in between me and my youngest older sibling. And then like my brother's 10 years older than me. So like looking at them being in their teenage years when I was a kid, it was really weird because looking at my older sister, I saw her teenage life and I was like, man, she's cooped up in her room all day and I don't know what she does. That seems boring. And then I would see my teenage older brother and I would hang out with him and we would be cooped up in our room all day. And I was like, this is awesome.
This is the life. I'm living it.
As a kid, I was like, as a kid, I saw teenage years either being cooped up in your room bored or cooped up in your room having the best time of your life. And I got to my teenage years and I was like, I want to leave. I was like, I want to just go. I just want to be out, not cooped up in my room.
Yeah. And COVID didn't help that either.
No, not at all.
It made it worse.
But you know what's really weird? Like, you know, growing up, you see people older than you. Like, if you're a kid in elementary, you see high schoolers and you're like, they're so old. And like high schoolers, you see people in college and you're like, they're so old. And then once you actually hit that, like once you're in high school and you think back, you're like, man, elementary school students think I'm so old. And then you get into college and you see all these high schoolers and middle schoolers walking around and you're like, you just think to yourself, you know that they're thinking that you're like an older person right now. And I'm like, oh, what? No way.
Isn't it also scary that they also think you have your life figured out too?
Oh, yeah. Well, you know, if they want to think that, I'll let them think that. I'll let them think that. I'll kind of join the wagon. I'll be like, yeah, I totally have my life together. We don't have to focus on logistics.
No, I'm always the honest
If you
person.
say I have my life together, I believe it.
It's only if you say it though. Like if anybody else tells me, wrong.
No.
But if like a 5th grader comes up to me and is like, "You have your life figured out," I'm like, "Yeah, I do.
Yeah.
I do."
Yeah.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly.
If an adult says it doesn't mean anything.
No.
It's
like,
not like a super proud moment or anything.
No. Like there was this TikTok where it was like getting off the call, my weekly call to my mom about my college breakdown. I had one of those not last night, but a couple days ago to my mom, where I just was like, "This is so hard. I can't do it anymore. I just want to go home."
See, I haven't really had that, at least this school year. But what's really funny is my younger sister, who's still in high school, she's already having those conversations with my mom. Like she'll get back from high school and be like, this is so much. And like, she'll just talk about everything that happened that day. And then my mom will go to me and she's like, hey, how's college? And I'll just go, good. And that's where that conversation ends. And so I was like, oh, I wish you would tell me more. And I go, I wish more would happen so I could tell you. But there's not much happening.
I tell my mom, I think it's a girl thing too. I tell my mom every detail of my day. I'm like, you wouldn't believe what happened. I saw Connor and then Also, to my mother, who's listening probably eventually, she called me the other day and I told Connor this, but she was like, what are you doing? And I was like, oh, just like hanging out, doing a couple loads of laundry. And she's like, oh, cool. How's Connor doing? Not how are you doing? How's your day? How's Connor doing?
Yep. It's slowly
she hasn't even
happening.
Met you yet.
It's slowly happening where there's an instance where a mother's child, one of their friends, becomes their favorite kid.
I believe it. I love my mother. Hello, Heather. I love you. She's a wonderful, wonderful woman.
There was one time where I kind of gave in to my mom asking me to tell her more about my day. Mm-hmm. And I said, okay, you want every detail of my day? I'll give you every detail of my day. So I sat down with her. I told her every detail. And it was like, I got up. I had this for breakfast. I went and sat on the couch. I opened up my laptop. I did this for 3 hours. Then I went to this class. We did this for like an hour and a half. Then it was like really just everyday stuff. Mm-hmm. And at the end of the conversation, she was like, yeah, not a lot happens. I go, yeah, exactly. That's why I'm not saying anything. Because I do the same thing every day. So when I say it's good, I mean, please let something change.
I just come at you. It's like every day I come at you with a new thing. I throw something new at you every day. Would that help you spice up your life?
That's where my life spices up. And sometimes it gets me involved too.
Me calling you in the middle of the night. Connor, you would not believe what just happened. Let me lay it out for you. You've been my go-to lately. I've been like, let me call up Connor.
Hey, listen, when other people tell me about their life, I view it like a TV show. Like, it's my favorite series running right now. I'm like, amazing, new episode. Let's go.
That's what I meant by, like, I feel like a whole season has passed by.
Yeah. Well, season, mine worked too. Maybe not as good as yours.
Yeah. But. No, yours was fine because we did film. Well, it was technically already fall when we filmed our first episode, but it wasn't feeling like fall.
Because guys, living in a desert, it is not it.
It sucks.
We have summer 8 months out of the 12, and then the 4 that we don't. There's like 3 weeks of fall. The rest is winter, and then we're back to heat. And when we get back to heat, we're like, oh, thank goodness, I'm done being cold. That feeling leaves very quickly.
I only feel it for like the first day we have like 75-degree weather, and then it's like, okay, can I put my sweater back on now?
Yeah, you're like, oh, 75, so nice. It's just, I can wear whatever I want, don't feel hot, don't feel cold. And then 75 turns to 85, 85 turns to 92, and then we get into like 101, and it's like, okay.
That's so awful.
Calm down.
Connor can't have his aesthetic 99% of the time.
I can't. I love sweaters and hoodies, and just like just big kind of torso wear.
Yeah.
And so living in the desert where I'm forced to wear shorts and t-shirt in like, I don't know, 5 different set colors, it just gets old.
What was it you said to me the other night where you're like, if I had a texture, it would be cozy?
If people had textures, mine would just be soft, like fuzzy.
Like fuzzy?
Like you'd see me and you would say, dang, if he had a texture, it's fluffy. Like, like one of those like fluffy blankets where you like put it on and like instantly you just feel soft. No,
that's the best feeling.
Yeah.
Especially during Christmas time.
Oh, yeah. So just cozying up.
I'm so ready for Christmas. I bought Christmas decorations before Halloween was over.
I did. You did. I did. You did.
You were there.
I was there. Yeah. I saw it. You bought a little pink tree. Do you plan on getting a big tree, or are you just saying like, no, the little tree?
I don't know yet. I haven't really made up my mind. I've been debating on getting like a mini like $30 one from Walmart that's like maybe 4 feet tall.
Right.
Because I'm going to be at my apartment.
Do you go for real trees or fake trees?
Well, because I live in student housing, fake trees. And the tree that we have at my parents' house is a fake tree. But right. I think when I eventually get my own apartment, I'll probably get a real tree. But I don't know. I don't know how I feel about all the pine needles.
Yeah. My family had a real tree one year because we had a fake tree growing up the whole time. And then eventually my mom was like, no. This year I want a real tree. You like to smell it when we go down and stuff. I just want a real tree. And so my dad said, okay, we'll get a real tree. And my mom, being so confident that she would love this real tree, she was like, let's sell our fake tree. So we did. Then we got the real tree, and there were so many pine needles that fell even getting it in. And then, like, come Christmas time, half the pine needles were out because the tree was dying. So when we took it out, there was, like, pine needles all over the floor. And my mom was just like, we're never getting a real tree again. And so we had to go out and buy another fake tree the next year because we sold ours. And so after that experience, I don't know. I'm just going to keep with fake tree. Because, I mean, it still looks nice.
It looks nice. And if you really want the smell, you can get those little sticks.
Yeah.
Yeah. They have them at, like, Target.
I was thinking just, like, the pine air fresheners just, like, all over the tree, like ornaments.
Like ornaments. I say this with love. I'm terrified to see how you would decorate a Christmas tree.
What do you mean?
Not, like, in a bad way, but, like,
I guess that's fair because I know for a fact that my Christmas tree would have like a bunch of weird ornaments that don't like go together.
Yeah.
It's all just like fun memories. Haha.
Yeah. And that's fine. But like for me, you saw the way that I did my Christmas tree. I was like moving ornaments because I had a sparkly one next to it. Like I had one sparkly pink one next to a sparkly pink one, and that can't happen. So
Yeah,
I put like
I get that
white.
with like same colors. Don't put them right next to each other.
Yeah.
But the thing that I'm struggling with right now is like how far spread out ornaments need to be. Because if I see like a large pile of ornaments that need to go on a tree, I start like putting them close together. I'm like, so that each one of them can go on the tree. And then by the time each of them are on the tree, like the bottom half of the tree is still just like naked. It's no ornaments. I'm like, well, that didn't work out.
No, my family has mastered the art of decorating a tree. Let me tell you.
My family has. I haven't.
Oh.
Like, it's not good.
I'm sure my brother feels the same way. He doesn't like decorating the tree. But my sister and I, my mom, my sister and I, we go ham. We about those ornaments and we're like, this one goes here, and this one goes here, and this one goes here. Sometimes my mom will be like, here, you put this one in this exact spot. And
That spot. No other one. Yeah, I kind of leave the tree decorating to primarily my dad because he's the one where like this has to go here, this has to go here, and then like I set up like the village and stuff and the nativity set and like all the other decorations. Because listen, when it's Christmas, my family's house basically turns into a gingerbread house. Like. We have so many Christmas decorations.
Yeah, my mom has an army of Santas, like everywhere.
Army of Santas.
An army of Santas. We have like at least 5 or 6 in the downstairs area alone.
No, yeah, we spread out. Like we have Santa, we have reindeer, we have elves, we have people, we have Jesus, we have a snowman. I think we have one snowman.
We have so many snowmen. We have a bunch of like little. We used to have this like really nice Christmas village set growing up, and we still have most of it, but we lost a couple of them like just throughout the years, as it goes. But we have this really cute one. It's like a little scene in a jar. It's in like this vase, and it's like a bunch of snow, and there's like a little sleigh and like a little couple in the sleigh, and there's like a light pole and a reindeer.
How cute.
It's my favorite. That's my favorite Christmas decoration. My dad gets so mad at my mom every time she brings home more.
Yeah, for as long as I can remember, my family had a village, and it just kind of like stayed that way. But I think it was after quarantine where, for some reason, my younger sister and my mom, they got super into like our village, and so now every year they go out and buy like one more house and like 3 more people before we set it up. And now it's getting to the point where we're like, we can't fit it on the table.
It's not a village. It's a city.
Where are you wanting this? Like, are you building Atlanta? Like, what are you?
They're building Orlando.
They're building Orlando.
Next thing,
they're gonna come back with the Disney World castle one day, and I'm gonna be like, oh, it is in Florida.
Epcot ball.
It would never be in Florida though, because there's snow.
Oh yeah, no, it's probably in like northern Utah. That's where a lot of the cute Christmas villages are.
Yeah, just like somewhere, like in the Northwest.
Yeah, probably. Maybe Minnesota.
Yeah.
I don't know why Minnesota. Also, I'm going to track back. Can you say nativity again?
Nativity? What?
You say nativity.
Is it nativity?
It's nativity.
Are you sure?
Yes. But I'm also from California, so we have a weird accent.
Nativity?
And we say nativity.
I've said nativity my whole life.
Yeah. Nativity?
Nativity.
Nay. It's an A. Nativity.
To that I say nay.
To that I say no. What do you do then, Connor?
I mean, like, is there
like a proper way to say nativity?
No. Is there another word with like N-A that starts with na?
Natural? No.
That's natural. Nativity.
Nativity.
Nativity?
Yeah. I also could be wrong.
That sounds kind of, I don't know. Maybe it's both. And it's just like the Berenstain Bears conundrum.
Oh, no. I hate that.
Where it's like, it's just been like constantly changing.
It's just been a constant. We've all just been evolving with it.
Nativity. We've
all been the Bernstein,
Nativity.
Bernstein Bears. Bernstein Bears.
Well, I think the whole thing with the Berenstain Bears is everyone remembers it as Berenstain Bears, but it's actually Berenstain Bears.
But Bernstein just sounds so much better.
Yeah.
The Bernstein Bears. Bernstein.
One more time.
Bernstein. What?
You're saying Bernstein. It's not Burn.
Yeah, it is.
Baron.
Bernstein. I can't even say it. It's Bernstein.
You're saying burn. They're not on fire.
Yes, they are. They're all They're all being punished for their war crimes.
Whoa.
There actually
I did not watch that episode.
Crazy Bernstein Bear lore, dude.
How do you know all this lore about TV shows that I don't know?
I was a weird kid, honest answer.
I watched, oh man, I don't remember his name, but it was like the turtle.
Nope.
Yeah, I don't.
Gotta be more specific.
It was,
What kind
I
of
think it was
turtle?
on the same network as Bernstein Bears.
Oh.
But he was like a little kid turtle, and he
With
had
glasses?
he had like a bandana and stuff and
Yeah,
glasses.
yeah. I can't remember his name.
I don't remember
say
if it starts
Tim.
with like a T, like T the turtle, or like if it's just like a different name, like Leo the turtle or something. But it's not Leo. Leo is a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle.
Speaking of
But it's-
Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, do you remember on Halloween?
Oh yes, I do.
Yeah.
Yeah, we saw all 4 Ninja Turtles, and 3 of them eyed you up,
Yep.
and I started wondering. I was like, why not the 4th one? I was like, 3 out of 4, interesting. And then
We cross their path again.
later on, we find the one that didn't eye her up, and he's like hanging out with his girlfriend, and we're like, okay, that
Yeah.
makes sense.
You looked at me and you said, Leonardo's loyal. Also, his name is Franklin.
Franklin, yes, Franklin the turtle.
Yeah.
That's what I watched. I
No.
loved Franklin.
I was.
You didn't watch Franklin?
I didn't watch Franklin. I was a Bernstein Bears and
Bernstein. It's Bernstein.
Bernstein. It sounds like you're trying to be German.
Bernstein Bears.
Bernstein.
Oh my!
The Bernstein Bears.
What if the name is German and you look?
And I look like the fool.
Yeah, you look like the fool.
Well, nothing is different. I'm always the fool, Connor.
Well, that makes 2 of us then. So
We're just silly goofy girls.
we're just we're goofy girls. We're 2 fools who have a podcast.
That's coming to a close at the present moment.
Yep. Episode 2 is reaching its end.
But you know what's not? The podcast.
The podcast.
We'll be back in 2 weeks.
We upload every other Wednesday to Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and YouTube. So you can find us there.
Like, rate, subscribe. Actually, we have a fun little
Follow.
We have a
Because
fun.
I know you do that on Spotify.
Yes. Also on Instagram and Twitter, you can find us at the Ultracrepidarians HQ. Happy Thanksgiving if you're lame. Merry Christmas if you rock. And we'll see you guys in 2 weeks.
Bye, guys.